Howdy folks, it's Johan, your favorite little ink blob, back at it today with another Murders at Karlov Manor draft. Apologies for the little blip there. Like a professional, I did finally remember to actually bring up the chat before starting, but did not remember to change all of the stream info. Because I still haven't figured out if there's some little convenient button that lets you, save info or grab it from previous streams, which would be mighty convenient. But that's just the comp sci person in me talking. The non-comp sci person in me is going, oh my gosh, we get to draft again. So glad that we actually did well enough yesterday that we can keep it up. And hopefully we can just keep on writing that, make some better choices, and keep chugging along and having a blast. That's even if I haven't been doing very well in this format, I'm having a blast with it. It is there's a lot of interesting moving pieces, which I enjoy. Compare that to the last set that I did a lot of was Streets of New Capenna, which I did also have fun with, but did not have nearly as many moving pieces. There was a lot of similarity. It was more the gameplay had some interesting choices, but there was a lot of sameness. Well, howdy there, Rakdos. This is a fantastic card. 6 mana is a bit expensive, but a 6/6 flying trampler that also forces them to get rid of things or draw 2 cards, or lets you draw 2 cards. It gives fantastic card advantage if you can get it down. Other things that I like out of this pack, Cold Case Cracker. We've got actually 3 fantastic flyers here. Suspicious Detonation in the right deck I think is great. Repulsive Mutation I haven't seen played an awful lot, but I think is quite good in the right deck. Guess I just haven't seen a whole lot of green-blue. Glintweaver feels expensive to me, but I've seen it do work. And Meddling Youths I think can also be quite strong, but I don't think there's... Rakdos is like the bomb. So, what do we follow it up with? Rebel Belt Braggart I don't think is the worst, but certainly not the best option in its slot. Cobb Reconstruction also isn't terrible. Private Eye can do some gross stuff. Not what I want to take right after a Rakdos, but we aren't seeing a whole lot of red and black here. That said, that's not really a signal, that's just the case of it. Case of the Burning Masks just deals 3 damage to something, and can eventually become some extra card advantage for us. I don't think it's the best removal spell. I think it's a decent removal spell that can do a number of things, and we are probably looking at something a little more on the control-y than aggro side of red-black in order to make our way up to Rakdos. Okay. We have here a Slimy Dual Leech, which might be useful depending on how many low drops we get. That is going to be more for an aggressive bent, but Rakdos is a curve topper in an otherwise aggressive deck I still think is fine. Confiscation I think can be quite good, but I do think taking creatures is generally better. And that might have been a big part of why, while I like this card overall more, I think taking things that do things is very important in this format. So I think I'm going to take the Slimy Dual Leech, and we might look at some more aggressive stuff. Gearbane Orangutan I think is a fantastic card, just not in any of the decks I've been playing it in so far. Ranger Captain of Eos. Ooh boy. Well, okay. While I would love to take this for Explorer and whatnot, I don't think it matches well with what we've been doing. I'm fascinated by the stuff that's coming around. We could either take a Red Herring, get aggressive, or an Unscrupulous Agent. Unscrupulous Agent is good for sort of more late game card advantage, and Red Herring often does just die. I don't know. Red Herring might have been the pick there, um, since it can actually handle dealing with disguise creatures for a little bit, but Unscrupulous Agent I've seen do some good things. Instant Bystander, I think, is a fantastic card. 2-drop, that sometimes gets you an Investigate trigger. Rot Farm Mortipede, think is a decent 4-drop beater. I think I'd prefer it over the Slimy Dual Leech, but I think the 2-drop is going to be better for our purposes. Expedited Inheritance. Interesting. Don't think that's what our deck is looking for, but kind of neat enchantment. Felonious Rage is quite good, but so is Alley Assailant. We could also take a Sanitation Automaton. I've kind of been glossing over this, but watching other folks who are doing well, it's not bad. It handles disguise creatures. It can be a good beater, but I do like Alley Assailant a lot, so we will go with that. A Shard of Broken Glass from Shadows. We could take a Braggart here. We could also take a Gorehound and try and filter through our deck a bit better. I think it goes well with the Slimy Dual Leech. So I think we will go with the Gorehound. We can get double Gorehound. Fester Leech, I don't think we're really here for the self-mill. I know that Snarling Gorehound contributes to that, but we're looking more for card selection. Also, looking at my picks, I think we've got some good black, and we could probably even cut the red and just like splash Rakdos. So I think I'm going to take. Do I want the Phantom, or I'm going to take the Tracker. I think it slots more easily into a deck. Macabre Reconstruction. I think I'm going to take, mostly because I think Rakdos is good enough to just about justify running it on its own. We'll take the Confiscation and a Defense Trade Phantom, I guess. But yeah, we've been getting a lot of black, not a whole lot of red. Case of the Locked Hothouse. Oh, interesting. Person next to us immediately picked. Parlor would not help us splash. We could take a Murder. Not my favorite in the format, but pickable. Bullrack Clan Basher gives us a 3-drop that can do some kind of gross stuff, although we don't really have a way to pump it. Do we take the Murder, or, you know what, we don't really have a way to just deal with something big. I'm going to take the Murder here. Okay, so they loved the rare or mythic there. Lead Pipe, I think, is good equipment. Could take another Alley Assailant. Could also take the Public Thoroughfare so that we could feel more comfortable dipping into another color. Don't think Lead Pipe. I think we take the Alley Assailant, because it can help us kind of survive to the late game very well. Reenact the crime. Offender at Large, I like. This might be another time where we should be taking the Red Herring, just get more 2-drops. But I think this is a pretty good 5-drop that also gets to come down on 3. Ooh, Raucous Theater. A dual land in our colors. Extract a Confession. A Confession is very good removal, but I do like the fixing here. It might wheel, this might wheel, but Long Goodbye. Yes, okay. So, Black does seem fairly open. Goodness. Fantastic piece of removal. Do need to be careful if targeting a disguised creature to make sure that they can't flip it up into something that is more expensive and fizzles the spell. But in a lot of cases, it just gets something. Satchel I've kind of glossed over in the past, I think is a lot better than I was thinking. We could take the third Gorehound. Actually, you know, as much as I like Slice, let's get some more 2-drops. Let's get the Sanitation Automaton, I think. I think Slice is fantastic, but 2-drops are very important, and we only have 4 right now. We need to make sure we can actually survive to the late game. I don't think Gravestone Strider is it. I do think we'll pick up the Red Herring here. It's a little bit awkward, but we do actually have a fairly nice aggressive deck, but it can also kind of pivot into doing more with the Alley Assailants and then topping out with Rakdos. Render at Large can kind of be in either slot, and Macabre Reconstruction helps us refill. Doorkeeper Thrall. I think Unscrupulous Agent, we probably don't want to play 2 of them, but we might. Hellion we could do, but since red seems to be kind of a lesser color in our deck, I think that's particularly awkward. Maskmaker, don't think we will play, but we will take it. I don't think speculating on white was a bad thing, especially since there weren't really other options for us in those packs, but I've not been seeing a lot of it come around. But I do think if you cut pretty much all of the red, save for like Rakdos, we've got a pretty good black half of the black-white 2-power or less deck. Sure. We'll take a lead pipe. I don't know if we end up playing it, but it is quite nice. In just +2/+0 is a very powerful thing. We've already got 1 confiscation. We'll take the Braggart. I don't know if we play it. Cease Desist, I don't think we're doing, but no, just +2/+0 is a big power boost that turns things into threats. Oh, Tristani, kind of the opposite of what we're doing. But we could take a Slice. We could also take a Harried Dronesmith. We don't have a huge amount of artifact sacrifice to combo with it, but I think it is still just a fantastic card. Person of Interest, I think, could also be solid, but this just makes a 1/1 flyer each turn, which gives you a lot of options. Ooh, Leering Onlooker, I think, might be the best black 2-drop. I do like Repeat Offender, but what else? So another Expedited Inheritance, by the way, that's funny. Suspicious Detonation? Unfortunately, the sacrifice happens later than you would like. For triggering that, Repeat Offender, I also think is a very good 2-drop, but 1/3 that blocks disguise creatures and turns into 2 1/1s later on with flying is fantastic. So Suspicious Detonation, but again, we don't really have the sacrifice theme going on. Doesn't add up, I don't think is fantastic. Rawfire Mortipede, I think we can take. We don't really have a lot of collect evidence, but we do have the Macabre Reconstruction, so we could trigger it. Case of the Stashed Skeleton, pick 4. Talk about good 2-drops. Nice and aggressive, and can tutor up our Rakdos. Heck yeah. Oh my. Okay. Sure. Great. Awesome. We actually almost have a glut of 2-drops at this point. Ooh, and we can use this. So when it enters, suspect up to 1 creature, and then we can pay 5 to sack and... So we could even potentially do this with the Harried Dronesmith. I think that is a fine 2-drop. We're probably going to go down on some of these unscrupulous agents. We can take another Mortipede. I don't think we want demand answers in this deck. Concealed Weapon? Man, did we just... I think we are just an aggressive deck that tops out with Rakdos, which feels like a good place to be. Okay. Lead Pipe? No. I think 1 plus a Concealed Weapon is more than enough. We can take the Stalker. I don't know if we actually run it. I love the contrast in our 6th slot. Wow, no one in green-white either. We could potentially play the Hellion. Sure, we will take the Repeat Offender. Wow, we have a lot of wonderful selection in our 2 slot. We need to make 6 cuts since we're not cutting the land. That feels like a good place. Our removal is a little light. I would have liked to pick up one of those slices, but I do think that a lot of times making sure that you have the creatures is better. We did also pass an extract. Would have loved the extract. What did we take over the extract? Okay. This is going to be mighty interesting. So, yeah. I mean, I feel good having that many 2-drops in this format. Coroner, I don't think is great. I don't think we actually really want to get to it. Slimy Dual Leech. So we've got... okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12/13, but 12. Okay. That's a number of hits, but we're going to... I think we do actually just ditch both Unscrupulous Agents. I think they are a very reasonable one that can end up chumping and does get a card out of their hand in a way that is a lot harder for folks to use, but don't think they're really what we want to be doing. That does also make our Gorehounds a bit worse. I think going down 1 Gorehound, we still get some aggression, we've still got a good chance at value, but I like Gorehound, it's just it doesn't trade with stuff as well. Although I guess we've got both Lead Pipe and Concealed Weapon, so maybe that's wrong. Maybe we do that since we can pump them up a whole lot. I think 1 Rot for Arm Mortipede is fine. I think we can probably get rid of the Red Herring, because we do now actually have some very good 2-drops, so there's a lot more competition in that space. So, suspected creatures, we can sacrifice our skeleton. We can sacrifice the Repeat Offender. We can sacrifice anything that this targets. We could sacrifice the Braggart, which is not what you'll want to be doing, but I think that's enough options. It's a 2-mana 2/2 that comes with potentially several pieces of removal that hit a lot of very big, scary things. So, I do think it's playable. Let's take a look at our creature-non-creature breakdown. Oh, right, I think we took the land over the think we took the land over the extracted confession, which feels not great, but I do think making sure we hit our mana is important. There have been a couple of games that we've had troubles with because we haven't been able to. So we do have a lot of non-creatures. This kind of acts as a creature. This is also a bit of a creature. The confiscation might actually be what we want to cut out. I do think it's very good, but... Might also just be the macabre reconstruction. I like it. I think it's kind of cute, but we own... Yeah, it's going to be pretty awkward if we... no, because we do also have a lot of aggressive things, which I think is probably often where it's better. We might end up surveilling away Rakdos, and then we can get it back. I do think... I think if there's a deck that wants this effect, it's probably ours. It's just sometimes it's slow, and you're really looking to curve out. So, okay, so one more cut. Let's double check the dual leech. No, I think the dual leech is fine. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 8, and itself, I guess. Yeah, 9, and all of our things that disguise down. Beginning of combat on your turn, beginning of combat on your turn, so we can order those triggers the way we want to. And I think we got a very good deck together. Rebel Belt Braggart might be one of our weakest ones, but I do think we need the top end. Oh, this is hard. Maybe it's the other Mortipede. I don't want to cut any of these. I could run the Cheeky 41. You know what? I'm going to cut Cerebral Confiscation, and let's see how that runs. If we feel like the double Gorehound is too much, we might come back and revisit that, but we'll try it like this. Let's get... where's Obnixless? There we go. One good demon deserves another. I guess the Brass Knuckles can be Rakdosy. They're very Ob-appropriate. So then people might just think that we are loving Obnixless. One good demon deserves another. There we go. Okay. I think this is fantastic, and thus I think we're going to get stomped. But we'll give it a shot. And hopefully we'll get to Rakdos some fools. Hopefully we'll get to Rakdos, and then have them think that they're safe, and then re-Rakdos them. Alright. Persil. Gorehound, Onlooker, Offender at Large, or I guess we don't have access to murder necessarily, but I think good curve, good curve. We are on the draw. Ooh, I actually might even want to Sanitation Automaton, get double Surveil, and I think is much more aggressive. Case of Burning Masks, fantastic. We'll do this pre-combat in case they've got something for the Gorehound. So I think we're looking for... think we actually keep the land. Gives us access to murder and gets us closer to some of our bigger stuff. Deduce. Because, like, I think next turn we're fine just playing out our own disguised creature, because I suspect they will play one out. If they play out a non-disguised creature, we probably just get to Case of the Burning Masks it. Ugh. Yeah. I think that's a fine thing to just zot away. Well, okay, actually. So what we do here, can't block that. We'll attack in with both. See if they want to trade. See how pressured they're feeling. Not very. So we will kill it. We don't get to automatically trigger it this turn. Oh wait, no, we do, because it's also dealing damage. Ayo, perfect. Gorgeous. So now we can impulse draw. Well, okay, so we only get to impulse draw one card, but we get to filter through 3. Okay. We will attack in holding up murder. Guessing they will just crack the clue. I guess we get to play this out for the same price next turn, so I think we Leering Onlooker. Because, yeah, we just get to play this next turn, potentially. Ooh, Slimy Dual Leech. I do think is very good with our board, so I'm happy to keep it on top. Not making a whole lot of use of this Surveil, am I? But I think that is fantastic with all of our small creatures. It's like we could dual leech next turn and just really get in with even like our 2/1. Because it gives +1/+0 and Death Touch. Okay, board wipe. I'm alright with that. Okay, so exile our onlooker. And they get to see our deck, which is a little unfortunate. Oh, and it shuffles away the dual leech. No! So we won't get as much value off the offender at large. If we draw a 2-drop here, I think we do actually just disguise it out. Wow, they were really looking. Well, as it stands, I think we just play it out as a 5/4 beater. I think that's legitimately okay. They do have a lot more cards in hand than us, unfortunately. So they might just have some removal. The Wrath does hurt, but we are not out of this. If we don't draw anything here, I think we will crack the case. Because at this point, we could play any single card in our deck. And all we've got right now is a murder. Okay, tapping down the offender at large. Seems reasonable. And not bouncing. Okay. Yep. Okay. Time for us to crack the case. Was that a Rakdos? That was a Rakdos. And we get immediate value. Okay. I'm sure they've got some sort of removal, but feeling good. This is a lot of pressure. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm worried about the removal, but that's, I think, the exact card we want. Awesome. We restock our hand a little bit. Both of them are answers, but I think that's all right. Because also, even if they do kill Rakdos, we've still got the Offender at large, most likely. Oh, and they're not snapping off immediate removal. And so they're probably looking for a slice or a murder. Because Long Goodbye doesn't hit it, and most of the blue removal is going to be kind of awkward with it. I guess they could extract a confession and collect away. But it looks like we get another turn with Rakdos on the field, which is pretty fantastic. So here we can Dronesmith holding up both Murder and Long Goodbye, so that if they do try and double block the Offender, we can like really kind of get them. We'll attack with everything. If they just block the Thopter, that's gonna hurt. But I guess it's only 2 more damage for Rakdos. Okay. And I think we will just Zot the Projector Inspector. So, 1 for 1.5, kinda sorta. We'll sacrifice the Thopter first. Guess it doesn't really matter. So do you sack your board, or let us draw 2? Awesome. Yeah. So Rakdos has drawn us more cards than we lost to their board wipe. And dealt 6 damage. We will try blocking with the Dronesmith. Yep, they forgot that wasn't just unblockable, I'm guessing. Ah, no. Okay. Case of the Gorgon's Kiss. So they need 2 more creatures in the bin to... Or, oh, okay, only 1 more creature in the bin. Oh! But that didn't leave them enough mana to slice the Rakdos? That seems less good. Unfortunately, while I would love to murder it... Oh, wait, no. Okay, they get to tap it down. So let's move to combat. Because they could tap in response anyway. So, unfortunately, we do only have 2 black mana right now. I do think we want to kill the Case of the Gorgon's Kiss. Because they will gain quite a bit of life. And currently, Rakdos alone is lethal. So I think we will murder the Case. And then we get to disguise out the Alley Assailant, which is also lethal next turn. Because it can attack for 3 and flip up to drain for 3. Okay. So not necessarily lethal anymore. So Rakdos has drawn us 6 cards. Fantastic. Maybe they want to mill us out. Again, we're strapped on black, but we're almost to the point where we could Case and Runebrand and just kill something. Ooh, so 9 mana, so that would be 7, 9, so we can do exactly that. We can't do that. Ooh. Unfortunately, we can't do that and hold up, turning up the Alley Strangler. Which I think is probably what we want to be doing this turn. We do that and then, like, No, we can't Slimy Dual Leech, so we have 3 mana plus that, so we can do this and then probably like Case of the Stash Skeleton. I think we force them to tap, we attack in, we probably get to eat, possibly trade. I guess it could be like a Fairy Snoop. No, they're going to bounce Rakdos. Good thing that we didn't start by doing stuff. I think we will still attack in with this if they don't, but okay, they will, and tap down, so we get to replay Rakdos, and he triggers on end step. So we still get value off him this turn, and we can still run out Case of the Stash Skeleton. So they save themselves for a turn, but... Okay. We still got to develop out our board. I mean, they are doing a good job holding us off. We're down to 13 cards. Okay. They love attacking with their exit specialists. Well, I think we... Okay. So, we didn't draw a land. A land actually would have been very good here. So we can attack in with... So, okay. They tap down Rakdos, or bounce it or something. Then we attack in with both of these. I'm sure they can flip this up, whatever it is, just about. So, do we want to try and put a concealed weapon on the skeleton that will tap us out of being able to flip up the Strangler? So I think we just go for it again. And then I think we disguise out the other Alley Strangler. Okay, they block. We will flip it up. I mean, even if they kill it here. Okay. Crocodile is not actually all that scary to us. We run out the other Alley Strangler. We will draw another 2 cards. Nice. And so long as they can't kill us this turn... So they need to either kill us or the Alley Strangler. They swing in. It lets them dig 1 deeper, but yeah. Oh, I guess, you know what? That was a bit of a punt, because we could have played something out to block and prevent them from digging, and then we could play and flip up the Alley Assailant all in one go next turn, because we do have 9 mana. So, bad play on my part. Okay. So we can flip it up as a special action that can't be responded to, but the trigger can be responded to. I think we run out the Juggler. And then we will suspect the Alley Strangler. And then we will move to combat, see what they have. We now have 2 lethal threats, one of which flips up also for lethal. And we can sacrifice something. We can sacrifice the skeleton, probably, if we needed to remove something. I think we have lethal every which way here. Create a 2/2 detective. Okay. I think we can feel safe zodding them now. We could have done that in response to gain 2 life, which would not have been enough, but there are a couple of spells that can do stuff like that, which is part of why I did want to hold off until I felt comfortable that they were tapped out of options. So, grindy first match, but Rakdos doing work. Who would have guessed the big, powerful demon mythic would be a good card? I mean, look, he did get tapped down a whole bunch that game. He was a pretty good creature. He 100% won that game on the back of the card advantage. Ooh. We don't have black. We do have a Sanitation Automaton turn 2, which gives us a Surveil, so it lets us dig deep for the black. This is a risky hand, but I think we can make it work. Or, you know, sometimes you draw the black to run out your turn 2 in case of the stash skeleton. Wow, okay. Now we are rolling. Okay. So we could run out a tapped Alley Assailant. Well, okay, first we attack. They cannot block. So we could run out... So we want to be mana efficient here. We could run out our own Alley Assailant. Tapped, and that's just a 3/3 that's kind of hard to deal with. Or we could disguise the concealed weapon, but then that might also just be our entire turn next turn for suiting it up. I think I'm just going to run this out and just have a good old 3/3 beater. If we draw another land, we can also just play and equip this. Okay, disguise creature. Ooh, fantastic. So, okay. If we attack with the skeleton, we get to trade off the skeleton and activate this. If we attack in with the Alley Assailant, they probably double block, and we kill their face down card, but then we're down that. Or we could equip it with the concealed weapon so that it would force them to trade with both or to chump it. Or we could just develop out 2 more creatures. I think I like going big with the concealed weapon. I think it's making more efficient use of what we do have. They might have a removal or bounce spell, but they're either taking like 8 here or, yeah, trading their entire board. Awesome. Fairy Snoop, not the best one to kill, but still think that's great. And we can play a 2-drop and equip to the skeleton, which is going to be hard to block. Okay. Yep, those are tapped this turn. We get 5 mana to play with. I think we equip hit for 5. And then run out our own Leering Onlooker. Although I imagine they won't block with the bats anytime soon. Or, sorry, they won't attack with the bats. They will probably double block the skeleton, but then, oh look, we'll have a 4/3 flyer. Concealed weapon. +3/+0 is horrifying. We also draw a Rubble Belt Braggart. Not bad. Okay, tap both of our things down. That is alright for now. We get to play out a 5/5 that we can make menacing. Got a kill spell. Kill it, and not the Rakdos that will be able to tutor up sooner rather than later. Ooh, Lazav. Okay. So they can copy something in the graveyard. Neat. Hmm. So they might just bounce this to our hand. So I don't love equipping it up here. I think I'd rather just play out more stuff to the board. But I will absolutely suspect this. It does currently trade, or it actually currently eats their entire board. So they probably... So doing this forces them to not just chump. I think we are very much on the beat down. Okay. No blocks. If they were going to Devious cover up next turn, I think they would have. So, Sanitation Automaton. Probably actually looking for a land. Yeah, I don't think we want the Dual Leech right now. And, you know what? We'll also run out the Innocent Bystander. They might board wipe us, but then we get to go tutor something, and we'll still have the Concealed Weapon, and we can make 2/1/1 bats, so I guess they could collect evidence. Okay. Concealed Weapon, Case of the Stash Skeleton. Wow. Wowie zowie. That's... wow. +3/+0. It's talking about how lead pipe +2/+0 is a huge... I mean, that makes anything into a threat. +3/+0 is so huge. I mean, a 3-power creature, you feel good in limited most of the time. The theater is a little awkward, but I think we just run out 1-drop, 2-drop. We may draw the extra lands. And if not, we tap, and then we can just run that. Okay. Kinda drawing hot today. Ooh, and we even get the Repeat Offender as a more aggressive 2-drop. Love it. Rune Brand Juggler. The Juggler. I think we're okay taking that for now. It turns into some good removal and lets opponent miss the land drop. That is brutal. But we will take advantage of it. And I think we actually just run the Alley Assailant out as a beater this turn. Then next turn we might Raucous Theater and then probably the Rune Brand. And then menace up either the Assailant or get ahead on the Offender. Probably the Assailant, though. Oh man, they're having to dig for land. Oh no, opponent. That sucks. I mean, that's not even us having an aggressive start, right? That's keeping a hand that you think is going to work and just bricking and the opponent curving out. We are up to 3 wins, though. That feels good. The bishop. But not the rook or the king. Ooh. This is a slow hand where we aren't guaranteed to cast anything. I do think we mulligan that. Then here we run out the theater, shipping off the braggart, and then we've got 2-drop, 3-drop, 3-drop. Not my favorite, but not bad. Okay. Yeah, I think we want land. Man, I'm checking the recording. I think we were done after about 40 minutes with that first match, and the next 2 matches were 10 more minutes. In fairness, a decent chunk of that was the draft, but don't think drafts are usually more than 20-30 minutes, so fantastic. All right. Well, in this case, I think we actually just disguise them out. They're on Jeskai, question mark? And I think we probably don't attack. Actually, we're okay trading either one, and if they attack, we absolutely just swap the Alley Strangler for the Courier. Okay, they Helix it. So they get to hit in for 5. Should not have attacked there, but they're also spending their entire turn on that. I kind of feel okay. We would love to draw some more non-lands now. I know that's funny since we didn't surveil away one of the lands, but I really wanted to make sure we could get to, like, 5. That's feeling a little spooky there. I think I'm going to try it again. Like, we are very okay trading off the Alley Strangler here. Steam Core Scholar. Yep, flying. That's part of why holding this back, because it's not like... I think in a lot of cases we don't get to block this, so it's kind of redundant since we're happy to trade with the our Alley Strangler. Filtering hard. Okay. The aerial stuff is quite scary, but I think we just run out a big old 5/4. We will give this 4 power, swing in. Hopefully that encourages them to trade. They are smart enough not to. Next turn, though, we can Runeblade Juggler, and ha 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 ha. We might just be dead in the air. Unfortunately, we won't get to sacrifice this turn. So we suspect the Alley Strangler, the Repeat Offender. My bad. We don't want to attack with it because we want to sacrifice it next turn to Ezrim, to kill Ezrim. Oh wait, it can gain hexproof? Well, we swing in for 5. Because, yeah, it doesn't gain indestructible, but they can just lifelink it up. Oh, that is so brutal. I mean, like, I think if we draw Rakdos and they have no removal, we have a chance. But they've been filtering so much. Give it lifelink, but not vigilance, because, okay. Yup. I do find it interesting that they didn't attack with the Scholar. Innocent Bystander. Well, unfortunately, so I guess we can sacrifice the Repeat Offender for 5 and play out the Bystander. I think we do attack with the 5/4. No, we don't, because we can then only block. So, we're going to have to sacrifice the Repeat Offender to kill the Steam Core Scholar. Otherwise, we're simply dead. If we attack with the 5/4, then we are killing that. We can block there. And we can block Innocent Bystander, so I guess we do try the pressure. I think we're probably dead in any case, but I think trying to hit through, there's also a chance that they trade with stuff, and that changes how we do our math. And if they do something to tap out to try and protect it, that would give us a chance to kill Ezrim. I think one of the harshest parts of this is... Oh, sack that clue. You want it... Ah, darn. Yeah, like, if there was any moment they tapped out, or if they want to sack that clue, come on, you want to sack the clue. Give us an opportunity to kill Ezrim. It's fine. Everything's fine. Torch the witnesses. Okay. Repeat offender dead. So they're not trying to kill us this turn, I guess. Yup. So, Rakdos. Cobb reconstruction. Nothing that's going to be able to fly. Even if we... Yeah, no, because we only have 7 mana. I'm like, okay, could we attack with the Runebrand Juggler, get them to block, Macabre Reconstruction it back, and sacrifice itself? But we are dead. GG. Turns out, Ezrim, also a fantastic card. 3 and 1. We're still in the we'll get to draft tomorrow area, so not bad. And 3 and 1, still decent chance to... 3 and 1 is not bad. Okay, Megbun for the win. Obviously, they mean Megabun, referring to Regal Bunicorn. Somewhat awkward hand, but Snorehound? I like that. Starling Gorehound, Snorehound. So Snorehound into Snorehound, I think is quite decent. We've got a lot of 2-drops that we can draw into. And let's make them so bored that they'll never surrender, that they'll never... Oh my... Speaking of 2-drops we could draw, how about a fantastic, menacing 2-1? I don't think we need the repeat offender here. I think we want more lands and big stuff. Because we couldn't actually double spell with it next turn, since Gorehound takes a black and it takes a black. And I think we'll probably just be putting out the offender at large. Well, there we go, there's that swamp. But I think we do offender at large this turn, Mortipede next turn, probably. And yeah, we get to attack it with both for free. We get our little 2-2. I think we can ship off the mountain for now. I mean, we do eventually want the 5th land to turn it face up. We would love 6 lands for Rakdos, but we are on a more aggressive beat plan right now. Okay. We're still happy to swing in with the stashed skeleton, and honestly, might even the repeat offender. Yeah, I think I'm actually just fine trading that. We're swinging in with both. They do not block. We will rot farm Mortipede. Got him down to 12. Like, I mean, this is still a very salvageable position for them, but next turn we get to repeat offender face up. Okay. Play the land. Still think we don't attack with the Gorehound, but I think we attack with everything else. And we'll probably flip up the repeat offender in response to something. If they don't block, are they dead? Because that'll be 5, 8, 10, 12. Yes. Okay. They do block. Do I want to turn face up? They might turn this, so 5 mana, this could be a lurker. I'm going to turn it face up, I'm going to put it on the Mortipede. I guess we could have waited, but I want to make sure we get in for the 5. That might have been bad. Airtight alibi, okay. That way it still trades. Okay. Yeah, that was awkward, because if they truly did have nothing, I should have waited because I knew they were going to do something, but if they didn't, it was going to be a very awkward turn for us. So, bad sequencing, but not punished. Because if they didn't, we just get to eat their thing. We still... Howdy, Cholera, how's it going? Sorry, thinking through the line there still. If they didn't, we still hit in for 2. We hit in for 4. They go to 8. We eat their creature, and then we run out 2 more threats. And we're probably just good. Yeah, okay. So, I think it still would have been fine to wait there. How's it going, Cholera? My brain is actually activated today. I got like a whole 8 hours of sleep, and we did the very big brain move of first picking a Rakdos into a very nice aggressive red-black deck with a Case of the Stash Skeleton to boot. Yes, Rakdos, apparently much better than Massacre Girl. I've also been shifting how I've been drafting, because I realized that one of the things I've been doing is not watching some of my favorite drafters, because I didn't want to, like, end up doing just the same thing. But there are a lot of how I end up doing well at draft, is seeing how other people are doing stuff, and mixing that in with my own opinions. Got an alt art Rakdos in your pre-release set? Sick. That's fantastic. I mean, just such a awesome card. The fact that it triggers on end step, and it's non-land, non-token if they need to sacrifice stuff, is so brutal. Yeah, I can imagine. As I haven't seen the alt art, but I imagine probably gorgeous. I love the aesthetics of the Rakdos cult. So, fantastic card, pretty art. I can imagine that, yeah, thrilled, ecstatic, over the moon. But yeah, so feeling pretty good with our setup. I think a big part of why this deck is also working as well as it does is that I was making a concerted effort, even if there were possibly better cards in some cases, making sure that I was taking enough 2-drops to really get things going, and also taking creatures more highly than removal. I think I have been severely overvaluing removal in this format. There's some very good removal. Slice from the Shadows, we saw 2 that I would have loved to pick 1 up. We saw an Extracted Confession, which I think is possibly one of the best black removal spells. I think Slice is probably a little better because of the versatility, but... Oop. I've never actually messed with my auto mod settings. Sorry about that. Ooh. Wow. I love the, like, very flat, blocky style. That's so cool. Fantastic. I'm so happy for your Cholera. That's a very good pickup. Rakdos is already a card that makes me want to, like, put together a commander deck. If I had that gorgeous alt art, 100%. Okay. I think this is pretty good. Turn 1 Theater, Surveil, turn 2 Skeleton, and then we can Case of the Burning masks something away. And then Slimy Dual Leech, most likely. Fit in a Repeat Offender in there somewhere. And hey, we're already up to 4 wins, so we're where we want to be. We shall keep And ooh, I think we're looking for more 3-drops or land. I think we've got the 2-drops we need to make it through. Alright. Case. Oh, the gorgeous Kaldheim Island. That's lovely. I would love to see the Northern Lights someday. Actually, I'd love to go on an Arctic cruise someday. They are so... Ooh. Ooh. Do we just long goodbye here, or do we run out the 3-drop? Because next turn we could also long goodbye and repeat offender. Okay. Attack in. 2 damage. I think we will accept the 2 damage in return by running out a tapped Alley Assailant. Well, actually... No. Let's disguise it out. Be willing to trade, and if not, we get to offender and goodbye next turn. If they do trade, we probably get to dual leech. What could this be? 3 mana in green and blue. It's not the Crocodile. I think it's okay to block here. Okay. Oh, it is the Crocodile, but they can't flip it up. They play another one, so we get to run it back just like we drew it up. Oh! I was so on autopilot there. Oh, no. No. Oh, that was so stupid. No! Oh, and immediately punished with the Vanifar. Oh, this is looking bad. Well, we dual leech. Make it death touchy. Oh, no! Now we feel a turn behind. That went from a sick play to a very, very silly, stupid play. Ugh. Okay, well, we will suit it up. I say suit it up. Just gets to Kraken for 3. And I think to prevent them from just growing their board more than we can handle, we now pay the we actually need to pay the extra 2. So I think we will Case of the Burning Masks, Zod it. Actually need to auto pay this time. Because I'm way more okay getting hit for 5 than I am for 9. Okay. Now they've got blockers. Okay. Kinda okay with that. This is going to get in anyway. Do we have removal that we can... We could... Okay, yeah, I was going to say, if they block, we can crack that for a murder. But they do not. So I think we will Gorehound. Alley Assailant disguised so that we might be able to get some reach value with it. Ooh. No, we need something better than a land here. As much as I'm like, ooh, Rakdos. If we draw Rakdos, we'll be kind of sad, but we couldn't get the land and play him in one turn anyway. This is not a great situation, because... So one of these, we probably need... No, it's like, part of me wants to try and guess and block there, because then we mitigate slightly more damage, but they probably grow this, so we guarantee block there, and then probably block Vanifar. And that lets us survive. And then we can lead pipe. Okay, so yeah, we do need to block. But we will get to lead pipe, so that will go up. We need to find, if we can find 2 more damage, which the alley assailant could have been, but we need to block here. I guess we could have, oh, we could have blocked one of the 1/1s. No! It's 1 more damage, and not in a way we need. Because, yeah, so we equip it, and then we get that, so it goes to 5. We don't have a way to sacrifice it. We're just dead. We could sacrifice, no. Yep, we are just dead. Okay. I think if I had not autopiloted through, oh, I have to pay for ward, we would have had our repeat offender down and probably hit in for the extra 2 damage we needed earlier on. I mean, it's far enough back that who knows, right? But I think if I did not make that mistake, I think we would have won. I am very grateful to Arena for being a fantastic way to play stuff. That is a mistake that never would have happened in paper. Deck list 0. Hello, Rakdos. Don't think this is a keepable hand. This, I think, is a lot more keepable. It's a little awkward, but we ship off the Braggart. And we really hope to draw a card that will let us actually be doing things on the board before turn 3. We might end up long goodbying something here. Oh, we get a Leering Onlooker, which is way better. They're just going to crack the clue. Yup. And we will have a turn where we'll probably be able to pipe up the Leering Onlooker, which seems classic. We are essentially 2 cards down and not ahead on board. And they're on the play. Pick the human token with a killer. Probably due to people reflecting themselves. Fair enough. I do remember thinking that most people would choose it, but it was mostly because I did not realize that it was only specifically attacking tokens, so I'm like, oh, most additional upside. But yeah, psychologically, I think that makes a certain amount of sense. I think we do it like so. And I think our blocking potential is a lot better than the... Well, okay. So, no, we do attack. Because, like, we don't block the token necessarily, I guess, with our thing. Oh, or they just private eye. Good thing we can equip pipe and long goodbye away their lord next turn. So we will equip up our flyer, so 3/3 in the air. And then this can't be countered, and they can't raise the mana value, so we will pass. And hopefully try and get them. I think we block the inside source. And then we long goodbye before damage. They might still have a combat trick, but they would have had the combat trick for anything. Yep. So, I'd rather take the chance that we get to kill the inside source. Oh, wow. I think this might be it, folks. We can Yeah, mill away the land. It's like, we need to block here. And unfortunately, with the inside sources, they will probably make it so that our stuff dies as a result. Or they just tap on down. Crundlin for 7. Even if we draw Rakdos here, I think we're still just dead. Okay, Sanitation Automaton. Save us! Okay. Statistically, merfolk would be the least suspicious, as there isn't any way to make merfolk tokens in the set beside the card. Makes sense, because you can make goblins and human tokens. But, because we know that, obviously that's going to be the one that gets picked the most. Yeah. Oh, and that's fair, but because of that, now we know that any smart player is going to go for the merfolk one, ergo, it's always going to be the merfolk. But then the smart players know that the merfolk is... Because the smart players will know that other smart players will know that they'll go for the merfolk, then of course you need to go for something other than the merfolk. It's, you know, it's the Sicilian from The Princess Bride, right? But hey, that was a pretty good draft. Um, second loss, definitely on me. I think our first and third losses, there's not much you can do against an Ezram, and I don't think there's much you can do against your opponent just curving out better than you. But I think we had a very good deck, and we got to do some very fun Rakdos shenanigans the first time. I say shenanigans, I think we drew like 10 cards off of Rakdos. Their only answers were bounce spells, and by triggering on end step, does some gross things. Got about another 10 minutes, so I think I'll run a little bit more Boros Convoke. Just sort of enjoy chilling, basking in, hey, we got 1,400 gems back. We live to draft another day. Wicked Rin. Epicure into Demolition. I like. I am very excited, though, to hopefully attain set completion with Murders at Karlov Manor. It's obviously been a rough start, but I think there's some very interesting stuff to brew with. Especially funny when you think there's a secret layer based on the movie. I didn't know that there's a secret layer based on The Princess Bride. That's fantastic. Man, the double demolition is a little awkward, but we will blow it up. We'll attack in with the 1/1. And they will end the festivities. They will mechanized warfare. Well, we will be taking 6. I think we... Ooh. It's part of me that wants to Animbacall. So if we Animbacall, we probably just attack with everything. They take 5, they go to 13, and then we can Imidane's Recruiter. Whereas if we do the Evangelist, we get to make stuff bigger. I think we go with the Animbacall here, though. Because I think she has even more value, even if she ends up dying here. The Princess Bride. Ooh, Kumano faces Kankazan. Oh, that's awesome. I'll need to take a closer look at it after, but I can see oh, it's been so long since I've watched that. I want to say his name is Wesley, but the dashing prince. Man, The last time I watched that movie was 7 years ago, and it was on a plane with no sound because I was bored and the person next to me was watching it on their screen, so I was just kind of watching it out of the corner of my eye for the entire flight with no sound. Should go and rewatch it in an actual fashion. Okay. So if they monstrous rage, so we are currently taking 6. Monstrous rage means we are taking 8, and then yeah, I mean we're dead to any spell here. We block with a Nimbicol. We're still probably dead to any spell. I'm not going to bother with the math. If we don't die here, we probably get to just kill them with Imidane's Recruiter and our board, because that would be 10, 13, 13 exact. We draw 1 drop, we're even better off, but another movie that I should actually sit down and watch all the way through is Life of Brian. That was not... Ooh, but I did not think about the fact. By drawing that, we can then demolition the gnome. If they kill it in response, we're sad. And just play the evangelist. If they don't, they're going to kill it in response. No! We just got gnomed. Well, okay. We will run out the evangelist. I think attack with 2 creatures. Life of Brian, because I had a projector a while back that I was testing for a project, and to test it, my dad had a USB stick with the Life of Brian on it. We will just double block here, or not double block, we will block each one. Again, still think we're dead to a monstrous rage, but we'll try it. I think if they had it, they probably would have used it already. Play with fire? No, okay. Oh, there we go. Just slow rolling us. Had a USB stick with the Life of Brian on it, which could work in the projector, but the projector didn't have built-in speakers. So, in the process of testing it, I have watched, I guess not in its entirety, but very large snippets of the Life of Brian with no sound. So, at some point, I should probably actually watch and enjoy the movie. I love Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. I know the song, like I've listened to that separate from the movie, but yeah. Samael Archfiend. Alright. Dun dun dun. We Epicure. Turn 1 Epicure, turn 2 Demolition Warden. Tap a bunch of stuff, have fun. I do find the mana sequencing in this deck very interesting, because you end up, I think 100% block here. You do not want to get that first poison counter. For a duel today, certainly, when I flip off the stream, I will get done with the stream, and then we can duel a little bit. Have some fun. There we go. And then we will tap down all the tokens. Scry. Don't think we're looking for that Epicure. Sentry away the Warden. We get Corrupted. Alright. We Cavern of Souls on Human. We Animpical. We attack with Yeah, I guess we'll attack with everything. They're going to block one thing anyway, and we're probably not blocking the duelist, just the might. Guess we could have left one back to trade with the might, and then we block the sentry. Well, actually, we really don't want to block the might because Seed Core is active, but they'll do it on the duelist, which will take us to 7, 8, 9. But Igonjo will be only 2 mana. They might also be doing Aspirin's Ascent. Interesting. Oh, right, no. For some reason, I was conflating this with Skrelv. This is only spells, not abilities. So what we can do is we can Sokenzen. No, we can't. No, we're short a white mana. I was going, oh, we could Resolute Reinforcements. And hold up Igonjo, but we cannot. I do think we really need to hold up Igonjo, though. We'll still run out the Sokenzen. Oh, wait, no. Haha, haha, right. Because it's on human, so we do have the double white mana. We're good. It's like, I could have sworn it worked a moment ago. I think we attack with a goblin. We're creature neutral on this, but we're growing a Nimbical. Boop, boop. End turn. Like, we could do that to get back our Warden, but I think we're just way more threatened by this virtually unblockable duelist. Because a lot of other stuff we can trade for. They also might just, March of Swirling Mists and we die, but they're very conservative with how they're attacking, so we'll try Igonjo. They probably have some sort of protection spell. I've played this deck, I know what it's like. But like, if we draw an Imidane's Recruiter, they aren't dead, but they're unhappy. A Case could also be very good, because that would let us kill... All of our removal is non-spell based, it's all abilities. Good reason to play Elesh Norn, right? They're really thinking about how to respond to this. Okay, March for 2. We get 2 poison, which puts us to a pretty scary spot. But also doesn't make them lose any blockers, which I think is very fair. Because they do need to respect the fact that we can just kind of kill them out of nowhere. Knight Errant is a wee bit awkward. But I think what we do... I think we try and tap... I think we try and do a 5-drop, a 5 Convoke, so that we can attack with a Nimbical. Ooh, and we get both Imidanes and the Evangelist. I think we are likely dead this turn, but doing this, we can attack with a Nimbical. They probably don't block her. The Imidane's Recruiter doesn't quite do what we need it to here. But okay, they do that. And as long as they don't burn us out, I don't think they'll be able to make unblockable properly. So now we have 4 blockers and a fairly lethal board. Get to make some interesting aggro decisions. I don't think this deck has trample stuff, but think we've got plenty of lethal threats, so I'm gonna try blocking like this. I assume both of them die because they just pump with the seed core, but I know I didn't need to put the extra 1/1 there, but if they had some other pump spell like Aspirant's Ascent, I guess that would still, because they could just kill the 1/1 first. But we will Imidane's Recruiter, and I think they could march and kind of get us. But okay, no, they've got Bring the Ending. But yeah, we've still got the battle cry, so it's lethal. Yeah, I think March blinking our Evangelist would have hurt, but we still probably would have had them. Fantastic. All right, we had a very lovely Rakdosy draft and had a little bit of Boros fun at the end, but I think that will do it for me for Magic streaming today, but I will stick around in Discord Cholera and we can play a couple of matches. Yeah, had a blast today. Feeling a little bit better about the format, and hopefully we can keep this up and keep chaining some drafts for the future, the oncoming days. So, thank you everybody who popped in. I appreciate it, and have a fantastic rest of your day if I do not see you again. Bye.